Join the Young Labour Stars on National Youth Vibe on Sunday, 17th August at Palm Valley in Grand Riviere, Dennery. Pull up for music, energy, and real.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prio's Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop, Prio's Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Everyone to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, accompanied by my co-host, co-producer, Terry Fenelon, and our technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph. It's a wonderful Monday, I have to say. Feeling good, feeling great. You know, one or two little things sometimes you wish could be better, but like they say, it's not in our hands. Hope you had a great weekend and that your start to the week is wonderful on this Monday. It is the 11th day of the month of August 2025. Our program, as you know, airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM, serving you on two frequencies, 91.3 for the north and 91.5 for the south. Simulcasting on NBC Television, channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We're also available via Facebook Live and YouTube live streaming. You know, anytime Terry is here, because I never know when the next day what it'll bring and whether I'll have him or not, but there are a couple of things I just want to mention. Agencies of the state, I'm not going to say agencies of the government, need to get their acts together, not the acts, the acts together, and stop bouncing people around, It's like sometimes in the past, I know it used to happen, I don't know if it still happens. You call the police and they say, oh, that's not us, that's CID, call CID, and CID tells you, no, it's actually a matter that's dealt with. As opposed to you being the police, transfer the person. Call the other department. Take a message. Tell them, okay, I'll refer that to the appropriate department and I'll give me your number and that they can get back in touch with you. But in case you don't hear from me, here's the number you should try, or something of that sort. Like I said, I know that used to happen before. I can't say it's a recent thing. But yesterday, a gentleman told me two things that happened to him. One was that his house was being broken into. And he found out who the person was. Because the individual had been doing it to other people, several other people. And for all of that, he sounded sympathetic. And I wondered why, why you don't hide somewhere and catch the person, or, I wouldn't say what else I thought he should do the person. He told me it was a young lady. Now, that surprised me. Most times it's young men you hear doing those things. But it's a young lady who had just recently left a secondary school in St. Lucia, graduated or whatever. The condition of the person didn't give me much thought that this person could have gone through a formal graduation process. I asked, how old is the person? He said a young lady about 17, and that is about the normal age that people leave Form 5 in a secondary school. Her desperation to break into people's houses, to rob people so she can get money. And, he detailed to me how he had money in the house because he does minibus work. His daughter, who I believe is a professional, whether lawyer, doctor, whatever, who lives with him for the time being, had money in the house. And the young lady took the money, and she was seen by people who watched what she was doing. I said, how did she get in? He said, she jimmied and forced a certain door. I said, how does she know that you had money in the house? He said, he doesn't believe she particularly knew, but given his line of work as a bus driver, given his daughter and I think a son that he has their line of work, it's a reasonable guess that they might have some money. He didn't tell me the exact quantity in the house. And so she broke in, and he believes she's doing that to feed her drug habit. What is worse, he said, there is a shop nearby where there are people who frequent that shop who seem also in the same lifestyle of drug abuse and so on. And so it is suspected by himself and others in the neighborhood who have been targets/victims that this young lady shares the proceeds of her misdeeds with them. And so they are shielding and they are protecting her. And with that money, she can patronize the shop, buy drinks for herself, for others, because his crack, his coke, his alcohol, his all of that, his weed, everything. And so they are protective of her. And one day he went by the shop and he said to the shop operator or owner, words to the effect that si pani suti we zipani vole. And that this young lady would not be doing what she's doing if she were not getting encouragement. Well, lo and behold, he had to back away quickly because he said the shop owner pulled a knife and told him, get off my premises now. He didn't think she was empowered, but for the sake of peace, he moved across the road and, she stood on the premises of a shop and really gave him some chat and some threats and so on. So now he has to fear for himself and for his life. He's afraid. So he decided to call the police. Now that's his account. He called the 555. That's supposed to be an anonymous, toll-free. You don't have to pay whatever. And he was trying to give them the information anonymously because the type of company that this young lady keeps, he fears that if she doesn't have him personally, his daughter, his son, his family, she and those who are associated with her. But he said, there was one long interrogation as opposed to saying, okay, we'll check it out. They kept him on. How do you know it's her? And he's saying, look, this is stuff. This is material for a detailed report. If you want me to do a detailed report, but I'm giving you the tips and so on of people who saw the young lady, etc. But it's like, How can you know it's her? How do you know it's her? What's proof you have? And he just felt what is supposed to be a line for reporting incidents, and which should have been anonymous, whatever. He was just being grilled a little too much at that stage for something he considered to be an immediate problem. Now, I'm not here to say whether he's right or whether he's wrong, you understand, in that regard. But he just felt what he thought was an initial contact to indicate something is going wrong. Come and see my house. Come and see the door. That's busted in. Here's another person over there you can talk to. But it's like he was being taken to task as to the basis for him making an allegation over an as yet unapprehended, unconfronted person. And then he told me one of the reasons why he's apprehensive, and he was calling me to seek my advice on the matter. You know, it's amazing some people think I know more than I do or that I have. But I eventually told him I think you should speak to this particular police officer. I gave him the name of a certain police officer who he said he knows he's conversational with. I said, well, that would be a good person to take your complaint to. He's in a department that might be able to help you. And he agreed immediately that he would do that. He said he had another incident where, with his minibus, somebody boarded his minibus and he recognized the person and he believed it was a person known to law enforcement, that the police maybe had that person on their wanted list, and he felt a sense of trepidation, apprehension when the person boarded his bus. So he went a little distance away where the individual could not see or hear him, and he called a certain police station, which would be along the route that he's traveling, and told them, look, a certain guy has boarded my bus. I think this guy is wanted by you all. I don't want to tell him anything. I don't want to tackle him. I don't want to confront him because this could put me in danger. But my route takes me along your station. This is what the person is wearing. This is what the person looks like, whatever. He gave a detailed description and said, if you all want, when I pass by the station, I can make a stop, whether or not to pretend he's dropping off somebody, whatever, and that they will be waiting outside. So he said it was pretty much agreed that the police would be waiting. He drove as agreed. When he reached by the particular police station, not one policeman or policewoman is in sight. So all plans he had for maybe faking a stop to talk to them, whatever it was, he had to abandon that. Because he ain't going to go inside, and next thing police come out, and there they get the guy, and he's going to be hunted for Lord knows how long and how successfully. So he continued his way. And he was so right that along the remainder of the journey, some trouble broke out on the vehicle between the very guy that he was apprehensive about, where the guy claimed that some other passenger did or said something to him, and the guy pulled out a gun and started to hit that particular person on his head, whether with the butt or with the barrel or whatever of the gun, and injured the guy. Bleeding inside his vehicle took place, So the other guy got off the vehicle and he left quietly because, a man has a gun. You're thankful that is the gun butt he used on you and whatever. The driver is happy that, no bullet was discharged there, maybe hitting him or any other passenger. The other guy went down. He put the guy down wherever he wanted to be put down. He said to himself, look at that, He notified the police in advance that this particular person, known to them, known to him, was on the vehicle. He made every arrangement with them that when he was passing the station, for them to come and as we would say, cap the guy. Nothing tal goes so. And look at on his journey, the guy is producing a gun, which he's sure is an unlicensed and illegal firearm. And the guy is actually injuring somebody. So he says, not him. Not him. And that is where he made up his mind that any report he has to make, he's going to make it anonymously. And that was why he used the 555, line and so on. And he's saying that, he said he didn't go back to make any report about the matter because he said, who knows, if the police could have been negligent not to be where they agreed with him they would be, who knows what might get out and he might end up being hunted by this guy. I'm not vouching for the truthfulness of this, although the individual who told me is so well known to me for so long that I doubt he would call me to cook up a story like that. So even if it's not totally true, but it may have some elements of truth in it. And you know what they say, where there is smoke, there is fire. We have to be very careful about those things because they can very easily spiral out of control when we could have done different. Now, I know the police have a lot of demands on them. Sometimes between the time they received the call from him about the guy on his vehicle, maybe they received several other calls, the officers who might have been there to wait to apprehend the individual or to at least, to intercept or accost him or confront him, whatever. They had to go out on something else. They were doing something else. These things can happen. But we have to be a little careful and very particular in terms of what's happening in the country. Terry Fenelon, whenever you're here, I've decided let me try to come a little earlier. But, I hope you're here for good purpose, because if not, I'm going to tell you to leave early. If you see you come here with any intention to wrong any right, if you see you come here intending to wrong the rights.
Man. Shelton. But we must also take into consideration what Robert Lee has said. Because this is an election and people have a lot to say.
Yes.
They want to chime in, so we must give them more time.
Indeed.
But Shelton, man, let us wrong some rights. The Latin in vino veritas.
Okay.
Sometimes when these guys are most people when they're under the influence, there's truth in wine, So Spider was not speaking. It's not Freudian slip, He knows the truth. Because he has said so already, on the platform in other ways. Is the St. Lucia Labour. He has said so. So it's something deep within him. You understand? He's trying to get out of it, but you cannot get out of it. He knows the substance of governance is on this side. He knows that. Spider knows that. But you see, he has to toe the line. Unfortunately.
And even so, he's making a complete
mess of it. And sometimes he forgets himself and he says the right things, the correct things. But he has to remind himself, I'm in this den of iniquity. I have to see what the master wants.
You have to toe the line.
So toe the line. So not that I'm very sympathetic to Spider. I understand the dilemma he's in. He knows where the substance of government lies. He knows it. He can't help himself. He cannot help himself. Even the young men, when they're among the podium, they know. So Spider, thank you for speaking the truth. Titus also.
I wonder if Spider partook a little too much in maybe what was gifted, because I see there was a birthday celebration for another very feisty family.
He must have gotten some fruit in the right spirit.
Joycelyn Fletcher was being wished happy birthday. So you never know the feistiness, the fierceness of Joycelyn Fletcher maybe got conveyed in some way.
Even Titus spoke the truth, and Titus, there is evidence. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read a little paragraph. When Titus says that this guy is reckless. Titus, you didn't misspeak, You try to go on meet the opposition the following day and try to, cover that up and, gloss that over. Titus, you can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. What you said is correct. This guy is reckless. But, you added, boy, PJP is solid. What is the word you use, Dama? Not methodical, in other words, he does the things right.
Measured.
Yes. That's measured. And Titus, the article, I like when Dr. Augustine calls Carlton. But you see, people may say, Carlton is biased. They say, but he said so. He's a Labour Party supporter.
He makes absolutely no secret of that. Pretense of it.
So some people say, but he's a Labour Party supporter. He always says things favorable to the Labour Party. What do you expect? But when confirmation can come from independent sources. So what it says, how one Caribbean country is changing the face. I did not send it to you, Anthony, but I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Yeah. Its approach to debt management.
The beauty of the majestic Piton Mountains, vibrant culture, dazzling beaches, and lush landscape of St. Lucia are invaluable assets. The country also takes pride in having 2 Nobel laureates and 1 brilliant prime minister, which is remarkable for a nation with a population of over 180,000. We have had about 3 great prime ministers, Sir John, Dr. Kenny Anthony, and now Philip J. Pierre. However, as is true for many other small developing states in the Caribbean, the picture of economic stability is not as rosy. In 2020, the country and hit rock bottom. He didn't say that, I'm saying that. In 2020, the country's public debt to GDP ratio was what? Over 90%. Now, Shelton, I like to put that in context. Remember when these guys came, these rogues came, these bandits in suits, when they came in 2016, they benefited from a rebasing of the economy, you know. And that rebasing granted them fiscal space, because that rebasing was done, and I think the debt to GDP ratio went down considerably. Mm-hmm. And in no time, in a few years, these fellas took that back up to 94%. You have to put that in context. And I want you all to understand that. These fellas benefited from a generous rebasing of the economy. In other words, the economy was made larger, right? More goods and services were added. So the debt to GDP ratio went down. And I think it went down to almost 70-something%. So that gave them fiscal space. Dr. Anthony did the hard work, but he did not benefit. They benefited. And instead of these fellas taking that, Shelton, and doing things, in 2020, our debt to the GDP ratio was over 90%.
90%.
We were almost heading to Greek territory, you know. What happened in Greece?
And not only that,
you know,
it's a very long time that the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank have said to us that what they consider to be the prudential limit is 60%. Yes. If you can keep your debt there, or as close as possible to it, you're in a fairly good place.
And Dr. Anthony created, and he unfortunately, that was not sounded, you know, and he paid for it at the polls. He was able to stabilize the economy and get us fiscal space. The debt to GDP ratio was, and you came in and you benefited from a reduction, a rebasing, and you plunged the economy into that massive debt to GDP over from what I heard, it was about 96%. You know.
And you know, you have to ask yourself a question. Alan Chastney has everything negative to say about how the country was being run by Kenny Anthony and now by Philip J. Pierre. You come in, you have a chance to set the pattern, the model, the example, to demonstrate, to show how it can be done. Yet everything you do suggests that while they may have been misguided and foolish, you are mad. You are totally crazy. You are totally off in the things you do. What is the logic of those kind of giveaways that Alan Chastney was giving away? Taking our money and just giving it away. The only place where money was tight, or as you like to remind, the only place where the country is broke is when it pertains to the people of this country, to locals. You know, that's where you broke. But you're not broke to give away our 24 million to Sanders. No. You are broke to give away the kind of thing to T.O. Aking and the so-called Desert Star Holdings fantasy. You ain't broke to take 7 million plus of our money and just put it in a guy's hands to go and buy vaccine. They have so many avenues, you know, to buy vaccine. You ain't broke to do this kind of things at all. It's only when it is for the beneficial interest of locals, of St. Lucians. And no matter what they say about we bringing race into the thing, the vast majority of St. Lucians are black people, you know. So when you do things that are pitched, that are tilted, that are weighted against the ordinary St. Lucians, it is against the majority black people that you're doing it. So, go ahead, Terry.
And don't forget, Tommy, you are the chief economic... Sheldon, I'll be on this man's case like white on rice. Because, in a while. So it went down from 20. Yeah, you're correct. Countries broke. You borrowed $500 million. You have nothing to show for it.
Look at what
you
the
did
guy
not
did.
pay your debts.
Look at what the guy did with the diamond.
Yeah, I mean, you just go low.
All over the place. The country is broke. Buildings are already up with foreign assistance. You're going to demolish 2 of the buildings, you know, and then to go and undertake a humongous expense for a building that was not part of the plans at all. You just bring it there. Spend 118 million on it, and still it could not be finished. Still, all it had was the hollow cladding, no interior, no plumbing, no plumbing, no nothing. I mean, all of a sudden, walls. I mean, at least go ahead with the hospital, the best that it can be, improvised as it is, less than ideal as it is, and later on you can incorporate the other fanciful thing. You go in and mash up what is there already when you ain't seen what you're going to bring, you know.
Because Dr. Anthony's hands are on that, so he doesn't want that. He wants to.
This is why I tell you, if this guy ever comes in, in order to destroy and dismantle what he considers to be the legacy of performance of the Labour Party now under Philip J. Pierre. This guy gonna mash up halls of justice. This guy gonna is this
demolition man in full effect.
This guy gonna say we cannot
demolition man. Yes.
Even if he don't demolish it, he gonna lease it to somebody, foreign body or whatever. He want to do something and then take us and put us under the rent of his father and his business and all of that and so on. He going to do all of that because he does not want any feather in the cap. Don't talk for projects, Richard Frederick. Don't talk for Anchorage. Don't talk for Jeremy Street Plaza. Me say he just shutting it down.
Battle relay. Anyway, in 2020, the country's public debt to GDP ratio was over 94. I think I have that right, 94 to 96%. During part 2, the deleterious effects of the bad handling of the coronavirus pandemic. And by 2021, listen to that, that's not 4 years, because we came in 2021. That's in less than 3 years, Tommy, the guy you say is no match for you. Tommy, the guy you said, because don't forget, you were the chief economic advisor when that disaster was happening. The guy you said you know more economics than. I mean, I don't know why you're a booster. You're a booster.
No, but Tommy knows economics. Nobody knows. The economics of gutter
politics
and taking speed.
But you're going to gutter. You take debris from here and you put it here.
Yeah.
Nothing has been done. But you have camera to fix. Tommy, go next week
show us that at least you had a bobcat or an excavator.
But he's a foolish guy. You're right. He doesn't know economics because you go in. All you would have done because of the millions you have, you could have called 20 fellas there, pay them $200, and you have some drinks and the fellas working.
Yeah.
At least you'd have created some economic activity in the area. Or you didn't want to do that, get some heavy equipment to do something, but you're there alone in a thing. Magic you doing, boy. You stupid.
Not only magic. This guy reminds me of that fella in the States who was made health secretary. Robert Kennedy Jr. whatever. This guy going and bathe in a ravine, in a creek. That is on record that the health authorities have as being contaminated with feces. A poop ravine, the guy go and bathe in. When you're not a customer doing something, you don't have the skill. Don't do that. Maybe in handling a spade in a very contaminated thing. Who knows what kind of spillage and so on you're causing on your own self because you're not an experienced sanitation worker or anything like that.
If Tommy was smart, Tommy, you could have had 20 of the boys in Fuasho there. You give them a little $200. You buy some drinks. And while the fellas working there, you have a truck, you know what I mean? At least that would have been more meaningful. Economic activity.
Don't be surprised. Nonsense. Don't be surprised if his leader want to show that he can outdo him. and so we might see Alan Chasney going and clean some
septic
tanks and so on. Don't be surprised if those fellas go down the path.
Well, he's already full of it, so he may as well go in it. You know what I mean? So that ratio has been down to 74.5%. I mean, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, you are not a boaster, you're not a charlatan, you're not show off. You said on the program, you're not an economist. You have done some degrees, we know, but we know you have a working brain. That's what these fellas cannot understand. And Tommy, you there boasting, you and Titus know more economics than Philip J. Pierre. But it did not reflect in the advice you gave. If you give him advice and that's what happened, you're not good. Or if you give him advice and he did not take your advice, it means he doesn't value you. So, I mean, either way, you stick in that. So you were involved. Tommy Descat, you were the chief economic advisor. But listen to this. The growth and rich lives. For St. Lucia, prudent. Listen to the words that's been used to describe the Prime Minister's handling of the economy. For St. Lucia, prudent debt management is proven to be a powerful catalyst for growth and shared prosperity. Shared prosperity. You have already said, Tommy, that if you are regain power, things like Nice and Step will stop because you said Step is stuck. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all are listening to these guys properly,
No. They have some things Tommy don't even need to tell you. You can infer from
it. Yes.
You see, once Tommy get power, you see, you and I call each other comrade.
Yes. So, Tommy, you have already said Step is stuck. It serves no purpose. So the vulnerable, the poor and the vulnerable who are unemployable will have nothing to fall back on. You see, that's how you're thinking. You're all wicked fellas. you want to talk about communism stuff. No, we are social democrats. We understand the value of safety nets for the marginalized and the vulnerable man. You understand? You already said, so listen, people. Those people that clapping every time this fellas talk margin, they are coming for you, They are coming for you because they're already saying that. But listen, prudent debt management is proven to be a powerful catalyst for growth and shared prosperity. And isn't the Prime Minister sharing in the little prosperity that we are seeing? Mm-hmm. The pensioners just got another 3.9%. Teachers are getting $1,400 next month. What month are we in there? I have no idea. August? September. $1,400.
It seems like the fellas wrong your rights.
Temporary teachers will be back on staff, will be paid August salary, so you get your salary. But stuff because staffing has been done, and those of you who are retired, you'll get your salaries. I mean, come on, man! Everything is being done to share in the wealth. You know what I mean? Whatever wealth, because there is prudent and Titus, you are right. My Prime Minister is measured. He counts the cost. That's biblical. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to share the pie. Everybody's getting a piece of the pie. Look now, over 70 goods, VAT exempt and zero rated, so that we can afford to eat. You understand? But your leader say, no boy, no subsidy on this thing, it doesn't make sense to have. Come on, man. You guys, you're following a leader that is so out of touch and cruel in his mind. He's giving things away to people that look like him, and we are suffering. What did he ever do for you all? Those people, you're there, over there. What I challenge you all, I have paper there, yes, in my bag. Write on that piece of paper for me. There's a calypso like that, write all your family name on a piece of paper for me.
Look, I want write all your family name on a piece of paper for me.
Write for me the things that Alan Shaste did to benefit the country. I challenge you. You cannot even write on one line, but you're going to support him. You're there clapping every Sunday, Maji. The man did nothing for you in 6 years. He's coming back and he cannot tell you one thing he's going to do for you. He cannot tell you what his plans are. Titus cannot tell you. Tommy cannot tell you. All they can tell you is about El Crapo, what else is in? Bad Moda. And they cannot tell you anything that they will do for you. No plans, apart from Mepui. Nothing. But you're supporting that. Now, I could understand you're getting paid to be at the rallies. Take the money. I cool with that. But on election day, that is serious business, You have Philip J. Pierre, who is showing you that he is putting you... And by the way, put that. Did I send you a clip there?
Yeah, that's what your time.
Yeah, let's take the break.
So let's take the break.
I'll show you that Guyana now is not a... Let's take the break.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters will be continuing shortly with more of Terry in form and on fire today.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Join the Young Labour Stars on National Youth Vibe on Sunday, 17th August at Palm Valley in Grand Riviere, Dennery. Pull up for music, energy, and real talk. Bringing the vibes. Honorable Jeremiah Norbert.
Shelton, CJN.
Honorable Kenton Casimir. And our Prime Minister and political leader, Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Blazing the Labour Party stage for the first time. Our endorsed candidates, Senator Lisa Jawahir
for more progress
and Dr. Shanda Harak-Singh. You definitely don't want to miss our firebrand feature speaker, Newport South endorsed candidate, Mr. Danny Butcher. Vibes, and more vibes. From DJ Pro Styles, General Biggs, Subbons, and our 2025 Groovy Monarch, Imran Nerdy.
Yeah, I go in everywhere.
It's a whole youth vibe with Labor, Palm Valley, January, August 17th at 3:30 p.m. Be there.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell V4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
You're with The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, along with Terry Fenelon. On this Monday, the 11th of August, 2025, and Jaquan is always giving me the thumbs up when I get the date right because he knows I get it wrong. so very often. A message says, these days Shas attending all churches. Yesterday he was at Victory Pentecostal in VA4. I think Victory Pentecostal is somewhere in the Moncayan area of I'm not sure if it's exactly Moncayan, maybe in
Vieux-Fort?
Yeah, in Vieux-Fort North. Yeah, I think
okay.
so. I think that's where it is. Thank you very much for that message. Another person just says, somebody who I know is very fond of you. Let me see this. Your co-host is on fire. Good job, comrades. Can't imagine a weekday without you. You're calling us comrades, and I send him Tommy for you. You'll know if it's comrade, you come in and call us. And another one says, very soon Lady Lee will be having a river bash in the Dengue River under the American Bridge down the road from True Value Hardware. Just wait for it. Terry, go ahead.
In time, I will show you. I'm Lady Lee and a co-host engaging in plotting a fraud against the state, against the people, the country and Western lovers. We'll see that. That's the kind of people. Anyway, let's go back.
Very quickly, I got a correction that Victory Pentecostal is on the St. Jude Highway.
St. Jude Highway. Yeah.
Sorry about that. There's a very well put up Pentecostal church.
Right.
But there's two of them in the Moncayan area and so on. So I think I got confused there. Okay, thank you very much for that correction. Go ahead.
You don't understand this guy. This Tommy Descat fella had a truck.
He did.
But he did nothing. The river is still the same. But Tommy, the Marshall River, come and clean that. Because you are a sanitation engineer now. Come and do these things. You all will do anything for a food gas or a hot gas. I mean, seriously, Tommy, that is what you're doing, man. To attract attention, to make people believe you. You're playing food. Things you have never done in your life. You're telling the people in Banan not to move. But you in your air-conditioned bedroom with your 65-inch screen TV eating caviar and lobster, and thing, but you want them to live in squalor. That's the kind of mentality you have. Man, stop that, man. And you go to church, you tell me? I don't expect anything. Look at who you follow in Adventist. The poster boy for religious hypocrisy. So you're following him. His bad habits must rub off on you. Man, stop this thing, man, and get better. You're talking about you're a better economist than the Prime Minister. Before I go, wood one. Tommy, that's for you. That's for you. I remember a long time, as a little student of doing my own thing, political, my own political science. Wood one. I think I have that right. Let me get that for Shelton.
I'm getting so many corrections. Yes, folks, I've already heard it's Victory Pentecostal. And it's Harvest Pentecostal. That's at Moncayan. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop flooding me with the corrections. I got it. I got it already. But thanks just the same.
It tells you why our listeners like to right wrongs.
And not only that, it says our listeners are spiritual people.
Yeah, man.
Matters of church and so on.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Tommy, when you go on the platform, keep your mouth shut. Don't boast, boy. Real MAPPs don't say they are MAPPs, When you want a good lawyer, you ever hear Dr. Anthony say he's a MAPP lawyer? We just know. When he opens his mouth and he speaks, he just has you in rapt attention. Because, what's coming down there, that's a MAPP talking there. You understand? MAPPs don't say they are MAPPs, boy. You think Derek Walcott ever said he's a MAPP? We just know he was the greatest exponent of the English language. That's how he was described by his critics. You understand? Alpha Lewis. He never said he was a top economist. People just knew. They just followed it. Sort him after, boy. When you are a MAPP, you don't say that, boy. Now, let me give you a quote from Margaret Thatcher in the way days. I remember that. You can put it on screen, Word one. Some journalists asked Margaret Thatcher about, she called her the Iron Lady, about being powerful. And she says, man, being powerful is like being a lady. I can never forget that quote. She says, if you have to insist you are, you aren't. You got a message? Being powerful is like being a lady. If you have to insist you are, you aren't. So Tommy, when you come and tell fellas you are MAPP this and MAPP that, we have the receipts on you. You run with your leader, you ran the country broke. Almost bankrupt. Well, you can't bankrupt a country. But the treasury was dry. You had the manual advising, telling people, boy, you take bonds for payment, boy, because COVID made it worse and there's no more money. And the country is broke, we have no more. That's what you did. Tommy, so when you come and talk about, more economics than Philip J. the critics, those analysts tell you, this man is prudent debt management. You know what I mean? Putting the country in the wrong path, measured according to Titus. Titus knows the thing, he's just in the wrong path. On the wrong thing. Titus knows. And so, today the economy is booming. 3-4 years of positive economic growth. He took it from -24, where you put it, Tommy, you and Shasney. You put it at -24%. And now, we're rising. And he can spread the wealth. I mean, it's true, we have no minerals and things, but the little we have, we are enjoying it, Tommy.
Yes.
So, Pela, apart from that, you are nothing, boy. MAPPs don't say they are MAPPs, boy. I never heard Dr. Anthony say he's a top lawyer. I just know he's a top lawyer. If I'm in trouble, is he going to? There are others, but don't try that, boy. So the people have judged people. The people judge Sir Arthur and they says, yes, that is a man. The people, the world judged Derek Walcott and says, yes, that's a MAPP, and they awarded them the Nobel Prizes. They didn't say that. The people, the world judged their work. Don't come and tell me what you are, boy. If you have to tell me what you are good. I must know. You understand? I must know by your works. And by your works, I know you're not good because you are the country in a mess financially. Fellas asking them, boy, we don't come again. You're not ready yet. Sheldon, Brother Lee, I don't want to. I think we'll open the lines. I have a lot more stuff, you know. But Sheldon, I think we need to give the people a chance to speak on the issues. Now, I'm going to challenge you all again. The Labour Party people, I don't want you all to tell me nothing about what we have done. We know, and we're going to do it. Challenge your UWB friends. Give them a piece of paper to write their family name. To write all the things that Alan and his bandits in suits did for the country. And let's see if they can give you one. Well, I was about to say 5, you know. 6 years, almost 6 years in power. What did you do? Now, that's a challenge I have thrown on the gauntlet. And every Sunday, you'll have your Sunday funnies. Spider's always giving us something. And while you're at your Sunday funnies, give us a list of the things that you're going to do. We know the things that you will do, you know. You will stop step, because Tommy said it. Step is stuck. So your poor people, your marginalized people that are wrong, and you're the caution, think, and people caution them, let them know that. That daily bread will be taken away from you. Remember, Spider said nice is 90% is Labour Party people, so they squash that. You understand? Jazz, those vendors, you like your opening of jazz at Masha, and you're making money because, boy, I told you, yeah, man, that gone. I told you last time at jazz, I went with my partner. I won't call his name. He won't mind me calling his name. But when we went there, we sat outside, we didn't go inside yet. Huh? We sat outside for about a good 45 minutes, watching that line, the opening of jazz. And the vendors where we sat, in the end to the southern end, where you come into the, from the Masha Road. Oh, man, they made good money. Because we sat there and everybody, hey, fellas come in there and right away. So I tell you, the vendors made money that night. That will be taken away from you all, For Soleil, for Boulet Fesot. Be careful. No, they are telegraphing what they're going to do. Be careful. Let's open the line, Shelton.
All right, 487-9849, 758-487-9849. That is the mobile number on which you can WhatsApp call us, 487-9849, and you can also reach us on the landline, which is 4533-911. Okay, so 487-9849, WhatsApp call us on that. And the landline, 4533-911. We have our first already. You're on the air. Good day. Real issues.
Mr. Sheldon, Daniel, and your guest.
Yes, how fella forward, lad?
Very good morning to you, or afternoon, what it is, I don't know.
Afternoon.
Yes. I wish guest la bienvenue forward la don't see man yeah. I thought of sell bagay mo toujours ka do. Lang la body a paper cordial ne lang la ka echo. Car la prière à toute sorte manière ma ka dit ma soa vini pismo doa. Di in dear Lord we put our trust. Let us never be put to shame. Deliver us, O our God. We trust we give you. Lord, hear us and graciously hear us. Nous tout gaspillons, papa. Mettez-nous à toute prayer for the nation. Pour nation, hold la terre entièrement. Pour nous coûter ça, papa, bon Dieu, du gouvernement. By power, pour travail. Pour nous tout pas, yon pas de pas, toi, for de la race pour ça. Nous tout, nous pour goûter ça calé. Enjoy Sakalea. So, Mr. Sheldon Daniel, je vais aller puis morceau la prière pour guide la terre, protect nous, tout ça nous donne et pour nous comprendre qui Sakalea, by gouvernement, sauf pour faire ça, il va faire, puis fini. But ça, 6 years là, puis il fini, nous. Merci, mais d'où avec précaution, Who's that tooth?
Merci un peu le forward là.
Cedric, congratulations to you again. Bye.
Merci un peu.
Bye bye.
Merci un
Love
peu.
you all.
Oui, passez un bon restant journée et un bon restant semaine aussi. All right, we have another call on the line. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, comrade.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Well, if you're afraid of Tommy, say gentlemen, but if you're not afraid of him, you can go ahead with the comrade.
Yes.
Avant, monsieur, vous enviez la boucan à l'autre.
Yes. If I come out to the people trip at Gov Library,
okay.
I have to show you. Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. On another note, I want to send sympathy greetings to what's his name, Teacher Lee. That would be John Shalry's brother, John Shalry, that went up against
Stevenson King.
In Macon. Yes, he was a education officer. He passed away sometime last week.
Okay.
Contributed a lot in terms of physical education in District 6. So I just want to send sympathy to the Shalry family and the Placid family.
Okay.
Yes, gentlemen. Yes. So on another note, I already put wrong the right.
The problem is the right that we could wrong. It has no right in it whatsoever, you know.
There you go. No, it's the spelling. It's the way. It's the spelling. Yes.
What Flambeau called right is actually catastrophe and disaster and all that for our country, you know.
Tell me about it.
You see the same. You see the same CIP. He trying to destroy because Labour is in power. Let him win an election to go up tomorrow, and you'll see the CIP how it's kissing its backside and he's crawling on its belly to worship the CIP. But he doesn't want Philip JP and the Labour government to have the use and the benefit of it, you know.
Yes. So I'm saying there's never a dull moment. I mean, I'm just listening to the Sunday Funnies, and I'm like, there's never a dull moment because you have a dull guy hosting. Yeah. So I mean, these guys are just ridiculous, and we know all roads lead to Palm Valley this Sunday. We have to go support Danny Boy. Yeah, that's my boy. So I'm picking up Danny Boy and all the young people. That's a wonderful initiative of the Labour Party, and to pick them up. While Flubber was giving you 17 for under 17. So you see that you heard that new slogan, 17 for 17.
17 for 17. So that
you pass the 5 for 5 account.
Yeah, 17 for. So how can you 17 for 17? Because you have 17 not say you guys want, is that?
Oh, exactly. Me you can predict. You
can predict score.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, my friend.
All right, you're welcome, gentlemen. All right, then bye. Enjoy the rest.
All right. We have another call on the line. Hi, Real Issues. Hello.
You lost a call?
Yeah, well, the person is not speaking. I don't know if they have a problem at the end.
Okay.
All right. So Terry, go ahead if there was anything you wanted to say.
Yeah, I'm Shelton. We have to dare them, challenge them. Flabos, I've been thinking rationally. There are those we will not comfort. We know that. You know, they're just seeing yellow. That's fine. You know, there are people so. But the rest of you are in this magical show there. Ask yourself, when these guys were in power for 6 years, what it is that they did, maybe not just you personally, because, you know, you have to get away from that. What did they do to benefit the country and benefit you? What? Yeah, let's go.
I call a Real Issues. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Shelton.
Good afternoon.
Shelton have a problem which I think when people go up for election and they line to the mission, and when you see you get them line, they come back and tell you, oh, this person said and record them. I'm sending a message to Elisha Norbert from Nico. Now listen to me very good. I have all what he said on my phone. Mm-hmm. You could check the number, I'll send it for you. Elisha Norbert came at my home 2 weeks ago. You know, he didn't come at my home because he came and bathed in the sea and I was talking to my wife. While talking to my wife, I live very close to the sea. I heard what they're saying. So I said, calling, I said, when you all want to go up for election, come and say what you're going to do. Don't come and say, I want to take a woman down, this, that. We don't want to hear that. I don't want to have no minister's personal business, personal life. That have nothing to do. Two people take out goats, that's not my business as long as you take out what you vote you for. Okay? And here's a certain statements which I have it record. And then when he gets to know that, he's telling somebody that Jeremiah sent people to record him. Sheldon, and my dead mother's grave. I barely go to Jeremiah's office. Barely. And he could call Jeremiah then. Now I go to that. And then Jeremiah will tell who that's talking. I barely go to Jeremiah's office. I know I'm a Labour supporter from time of Marshall Philip Pierre. I went to live in the South. I'm still a Labour. And if you want, I will send, because what he said on the voicemail, what I record, he knows it's very dangerous because he said something about miming son and taking the son, the Jeremiah selling the son. They're taking the son, selling it to the Ministry of how's that place again? No, I forget the ministry. Please, and they're paying the person that has taken the son, and the person trained Jeremiah to run the election. So I told him, go on the air and say that. He said, go on the air. Go to Fuge now. Let him come on the air. But I think Sunday, he came and said, I think they had a meeting, Flow had a thing in Mikul, and he said that Jeremiah is sending people on recording. Jeremiah don't have time to send people on recording. I record him. And even you insulted Lara, I call Lara a dog. I have all that record. So you could trace my phone number, and I'll send all the voice things sent for him. I was recording it. Because when he realized my wife would record him, my wife took my photograph. I said, my wife, you don't do that. I recorded him from my home, and I go by him and I start asking him questions. And when he always said a nasty thing, that as a man, I want to go up from Mikun. Okay? And he said a lot of things. I have the voicemail. You could choose my phone number, and you could see it, and I'll send it for you to get it. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Real Issues powered by Blue Waters is on 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that number, or you can use the landline 4533-911. You can also send us text messages, all right, and we'll get them live via our on-air WhatsApp messaging board. You can go to two websites where you'll see the messaging link for WhatsApp messages. Just click on them and you can type your message direct to us. One of them is realfmofficial.com, realfmofficial.com, and the other one is mbcslu.com. Click on them and you can send the messages in real time. Jaquan will forward it to us so we can read it live on air. Terry, over to you again.
Yes. I think that at the Sunday Funnies yesterday, Go ahead. We heard the leader of the opposition saying he delivered to the people of St. Lucia during his 6 years, almost 6 years. And Shelton, I was like, okay, evidence please, because to me, you must have supporting evidence. Mm-hmm. What did you deliver? I know you delivered a heavy debt. Mm-hmm. We have a call, Shelton. We have a call.
All right. Real Issues, go ahead.
Sheldon, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to your guest, man.
Good afternoon, sir.
My co-host.
Your co-host.
Yeah.
I like your co-host because you could see he's a teacher. He was a teacher. He does a lot of revision. He's reminding St. Lucians about all the bad things the former government did, which is good. I think we need to do that a lot more often, because sometimes some people try to forget conveniently. Mm-hmm. But it is good to remind them of all the misdeeds that previous government did to St. Lucians. Mm-hmm. And I love to hear him speak. He's on fire. So Mr. Fellow, continue doing that. Take it back to 2021 when this government came in, and let us know all what they've done and compare it to the last almost 6 years. So we need to do that because since elections are getting closer, they will try to mama guy people and tell them all kind of nonsense. But they forget the misdeeds, mm-hmm. and they're trying to right a wrong. I don't know what is wrong with this government.
Right.
Because all what I see this government doing is right. Because when you
No, but you heard what the fellas say they want to do already. Thanks to the spider. They don't want to right any wrong because there's no wrong to right.
There's no wrong.
What the
to
fellas
right.
want to do is to wrong the rights.
Wrong the right. Nonsense. I mean, this prime minister, which I know, when St. Lucia makes money, or, he spends it on the people. He don't give it away, you know. But the others was giving away, even our land they gave away. But this prime minister, whatever surplus or whatever economic growth there is, he spends it on the people. You can't tell the nurses that, you're righting or wrong. Huh? You can't tell the pensioners you're righting or wrong.
Correct.
Because this is dollars in their pockets. You can't tell the teachers this time around, they're getting extras to come to the schools come September. You can't tell them that is not good. So is there a wrong in that?
Yeah.
The books are quite moon, but our
it won't work.
Lanya a phrase, whole koyo pabo. Okay, well, have a good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You as well, okay.
We're about to, Sheldon, I think I'm watching the clock. We're due for a break. Yeah.
If there are no calls on right now, which there don't seem to be, we'll take the break, and when we come back, we'll take more calls for real issues powered by Blue Waters. But let me just read a quick message that I got. It says, in the next election, St. Lucians must turn decisively a political, cultural, historical, spiritual community corner with a clear rejection of Alan Chasney and his cabal, who have nothing but hatred, destruction, racism, corruption, etc. to load on the small, vulnerable state, especially at this time given the state of worldwide international political affairs. SLP and voters are the ones who must right the wrongs done and those threatening. We'll be back shortly.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Join the Young Labour Stars on National Youth Vibe on Sunday, 17th August at Palm Valley in Grand Riviere, Dennery. Pull up for music, energy, and real talk. Bringing the vibes. Honorable Jeremiah Norbert.
Shelton, CJN.
Honorable Kenson Casimir. And our Prime Minister and political leader, Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Blazing the Labour Party stage for the first time, our endorsed candidates, Senator Lisa Jawahir
For more progress.
and Dr. Shanda Haraksing. You definitely don't want to miss our firebrand feature speaker, Newport South endorsed candidate, Mr. Danny Butcher. Vibes, and more vibes from DJ Pro Styles, General Biggs, Subbats, and our 2025 Groovy Monarch, Imran Nerdy.
Yeah, I go in everywhere.
It's a whole youth vibe with Labour. Palm Valley, Dennery, August 17th at 3:30 p.m. Be there.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City C opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar, Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters is on. There's another matter which I had intended to mention. In terms of government agencies and departments, the importance of the right hand knowing what the left hand is doing and not causing people to suffer inconvenience, disappointment, just because they themselves don't really know the process, but the people who should know the process are leading them down a path where one side will say, look, I know nothing about that. You know, it really doesn't make sense. And it concerns the land matter, but I'll leave it alone for today. Substantively, just to tell you that a gentleman is facing, it seems, not just a dilemma. He's facing the possibility of more than a disappointment, of great loss when he's gotten along in years, over a piece of land that he applied to buy, 20 years ago, if not more than that. And he was given the assurance that, okay, we agree to sell to you, and we will sell it to you at such and such a price, at such and such a rate per square foot or whatever it is. And it has taken 20 years and there have been changes of government and he just cannot get a finalization of the sale. The man is in his mid-70s now. It turns out that the letter which was given to him, offer letter, approval for the land to be sold to him, was sent to him by one government department which, by its very nature, should have known whether they were the agency that had the legitimacy, that had the authorization, whose responsibility it was to issue such a letter. It turns out another government or state agency is saying, We don't know anything about that. We are the ones who should have dealt with that. And so if the other party gave you that, I'm very sorry, we don't know. And like they will not honor what the other government department has said. Now, I'm not getting into any argument about which one is right. All I'm saying is that if there are two agencies, let us say there is one that is environmental health that tells you, the chief environmental health officer tells you that it's okay for you to do some kind of project, whatever, where the health side they give you clearance. Well, later on, you need to have a certificate signed by the chief medical officer. And the chief medical officer tells you, it should have been me who should have given you permission. So if environmental health told you, I don't know anything about that, I'm not signing any letter because that process should have gone through us. I don't think this is right to the person who's trying to set up, whether it's a small business, whether it's a fish farm, whether it's whatever it is, you know. I think between chief medical officer and environmental health division, they should come together and say, hey, we believe there was a little bit of a procedural irregularity or inappropriateness there that I should have been the one. But not to tell the person, look, I don't know, I'm not touching that. And, you know, after the person has waited, they've done everything that they were supposed to do. It's for environmental health and chief medical to call each other, even without the person knowing and saying, look, man, at the end of the day, the gentleman or the lady did nothing wrong. They went through the processes, but somewhere there was a screw up in terms of which was the competent authority to deal with it. How can we fix this so that the person does not end up suffering for our own behind-the-scenes confusion? And a man who has waited 25 years or whatever it is for a piece of land that he applied to buy, the price was agreed upon, is a back and forth with the man and so on. He should not think because, you know, I don't know. Maybe Lands and Surveys is the one who gave him, you know, the undertaking that the land would be sold to him, but it should be Crown Lands or whatever it is that should have done it or whatever. Get together as two agencies authorized. If you all need some kind of advice or opinion from the Attorney General or the Cabinet or whatever, then get it done. Don't let a man was waited 25 years for the purchase of everything he's done correctly. He's paid the deposit, he's paid everything, and he still can't get the land. The man is about 75 or whatever, so he feels he's getting old, time is not on his side. Correct this thing, folks. Correct this thing. I remember many years ago, there was a case where teachers, you know, some pregnant teachers were dismissed from the service because they were not married. And at the end of the day, there were two things. There was a collective agreement which agreed that teachers would not be discriminated against on the basis of their marital status. But there was also a law or something which they had not repealed, which said that an unmarried teacher who becomes pregnant for a first time will be suspended, second time will be dismissed. And the government was able to go on to argue that, look, even though the collective agreement said don't discriminate against them, the collective agreement cannot supersede, you know, what is legislation. And a judge ruled in the matter that if there is a conflict between two arms of the state or two pieces of legislation or whatever it is, agreement or contract, the teacher should not be made to suffer as a result. Whoever signed the collective agreement and whoever was Attorney General, they should have come together to say, okay, this collective agreement, we also have to address a provision in the law which is not compatible with it or whatever. And that's the same thing I'm saying. If there is a Lands and Surveys as opposed to a Crown Lands Department and there is some, you know, the right hand not knowing what the left hand was doing, but there is nothing illegal there, I think it can be regularized. We actually have a program that was called PROUD, and it meant the program for the regularization of unplanned development. People being on land that they should not have been on in the first place, that they did not have permission, that they did not buy, that they did not inherit, but recognizing that, look, they are there. They have established themselves, sometimes across more than one generation. Children have built houses. To go now and to tell them to move and to demolish structures is going to cause too much disruption and dislocation and dysfunction. So let us see how we can come together and make it work in a manner that might otherwise have been unworkable. And that is why I don't want to say too much about this, because it's an ongoing thing. But if 25 years ago a man applied to buy a piece of land, you know, from the state and so on, and it was agreed, and he got a letter. He didn't get a letter from any kind of, riffraff, waffrats, vagabonds, on, A letter from a real eminent, august, prestigious arm of the state, legally empowered and all, and said to him, okay, we cabinet has done what, and we have agreed to sell you the land at this price. 25 years later, another body is telling him, the person who issued you that had no right and no power to do it, and so we don't know nothing about that and this kind of thing. This is not right. It's for those two departments to come together and say, look, the man acted in good faith, that he was being dealt with in good faith. So let us now right the wrong, if there was any wrong there. Right the wrong, and let the man have possession of the land that he has properly and lawfully applied for, signed for, agreed to, contracted for, whatever it is and so on, covenanted for with the state. Let the man have his land and so on. No, hold up. 25 years. 25 years, there's some kind of reparations that's due to this man. And the reparations have to be that don't give him any more trouble. He waited long enough. Anyway, do you have a call on the line, Jaquan?
Yes.
Thank you very much for your patience, caller. Sorry about that. I just needed to get that one out of the way. Real issues, you're on the air.
Yes, I could have waited because I want to say good afternoon to you, Shelton, and Mr. Felino. Mr. Felino, you were in the color that I like.
What about me?
Yes, I like the color you were in also.
Okay, all right. The blue wave thing. Okay, all right.
Shelton.
Yes.
We writing the right the wrong. What in the heart speaketh from the mouth. It was in Spider's heart to say that we, the SLP, is writing the right. So that was in his mind. So he said the right thing. We're writing the wrong. Right. Now, Mr. Felena, I did not know that government had buy a backhoe to clean up the banana gutter. You all buy a new one and you'll never put that on yours? Philip JPA is bad. I see on Facebook there is a new backhoe. It's cleaning the gutter. And I said, wow, we bad. We bad. You see what we make them do? We have a new backhoe.
He just had to clean it.
That is nice. 5-6 years back, he was in office.
Yes.
He never buy that backhoe. But this year, he buy it because pressure on him. So he had to buy a new backhoe. Let him use it. I hope next week he go with the backhoe and still cleaning the gutter. Okay, bye-bye.
If you're right, I'm going to wrong you.
You put that back up. We have decided in our manifesto that we are going to remove all taxes on sanitary supplies and other basic supplies for women's health. We are investing in our women, in our sisters, our mothers, grandmothers. We are investing because we believe in you. That's PJP's partner, Dr. Mohammed Ufan Ali. Philip J. Pierre, take a bow. The others are following you. Mia Motley signed 2 loan agreements with the Saudis. She has adopted the one graduate per household. Antigua also has done that. And the food security. Plant what you eat what you grow. And I like to watch what I eat too. Okay? So, Philip J. Pierre, you are leading the way. You are a leader. You are doing your things quietly, and the others are following. They're asking you, how are you able to turn an economy around in so short a space of time? From minus 24% debt to GDP to 4 years of positive economic growth. How is it that you're able to spread the wealth? You know why? There's no corruption. Personne pas voler l'argent. We have no overflated direct awards. Let me repeat that. Nobody's signing any 30 direct awards in one day. And direct awards are being signed, Shelton, only in emergencies. You know, we have played fast and loose with the treasury. So you'll never PJP say, the country's broke, we have no more money.
Yeah,
you have a call, Shelton.
The ice cream bell ring. Real issues, you're on the air. Go ahead. Hello? All right, okay. This person is having some technical problem at the end. Or maybe, you know, they're trying something on us. I don't know. Call SLP people more and more to register to vote and tell them they must vote. Do not take any chances. Thank you very much for that message. We have another call on the line. Hi,
Shelton, good afternoon.
You're the one who was playing that game with us there?
No, I ain't playing no game there.
Okay, all right. I know it's not you. I
hung up and I on the line. I realized I again you.
Go ahead, partner.
Yeah, today is a non-political contribution for me today. Today is the funeral service about 10 minutes from now of the Castries South, you know, campaign manager.
Yes.
Dr. Ernest Hill, campaign manager. So
Claudius.
the code is red. We have to go and give him the fullest, you know, support, send off the family members, hold strong. Let's keep the flag flying high. We had to go there in large numbers at the cathedral from 2 o'clock. And Sheldon, what I want to say is that I want to encourage us as a people that whilst we are alive and we are the breath of life, let us manifest the characteristics of love, compassion, you know, let us help out and reach out to each other. I said this to say, Shelton, I came across a young lady, a teacher at the RC school, teacher Julia. And Shelton, just going through the obituaries, I see that the lady will be buried on Thursday at the Bethel Tabernacle Church at 10 o'clock.
Yes, okay.
And that lady, teacher Julia at the RC school, is a real compassionate person who always reaching out to feed the poor ministry. And I want to say to the family that I send my condolences to teacher Julia, to the family, to the school, the RC school, all the teachers, to hold strong and keep the faith. Sheldon, have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you very much. You as well. All right, 487-9849 and 453-3911. We're taking your calls, don't forget, until 2 o'clock, where we have to go because the lotto comes in live. So make the most and the best of it. 758-487-9849. We have a caller on the line. Real issues, you're on the air. Go ahead. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
How are you?
Doing great, on you?
I'm there, I'm holding strong.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I want to say bravo to Mr. Philip J. Pierre.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bravo to my minister, Honorable Wayne Girard, all the way.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I wish them all the best, and we're winning that. Don't mind them. 17 not.
17 not.
All right. So ancillary canneries, you're saying strong and solid.
Yeah. And all my ministers, I love them very well.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we there. Don't mind them. Don't mind nobody.
Okay, my friend. Okay, thank you. Nice to hear.
And kudos to Mr. Clark and Mr. Michael.
Okay, all right. So long then. Thank you. All right, we have another call on the line. Real issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Sheldon. Yesterday I heard Shasney talking about Kudme. Kudme. He never knows about Kudme.
You sure it's Kudme? He said or something like or something like Kudme. You know, something like that. To me, Shasney can't say me, you know.
Okay then.
For a man who have a French background and all of that and so on, you know, he really struggles with the French intonation and articulation, I find, you know.
Yeah.
French
the guys
Canadian.
are giving Kudme.
Yeah.
Kudme. Okay then.
All right, thank you very much. Shasty, they ain't letting him pass. Anything, you know. I'm telling you, they're not letting him pass.
Nothing.
We have another call on the line? Is that? All right. Jaquan says this has to be our last call. Real issues. Go ahead.
Shelton.
Hey, Doc, what's up?
I apologize to Nenen, but I'm the last caller. Okay, Shelton. I wanted to talk about this Commonwealth report.
Right.
To put it in context, the Commonwealth Secretariat has assisted the islands in monitoring debt. The software that the islands and the ECCB use is from the Commonwealth Secretariat, so they know what they're talking about. I say this because a number of people question the legitimacy of this report coming out of the court. Whether it was, I said no, because I know that the Commonwealth is integrally involved in the monitoring of our debt. And this is just another feather in the cap of the Honorable Philip J. Pierre. As the data points out, debt to GDP is in the low 70s from where it was. Right. And why I say that is because, yes, GDP has grown, but it has grown much faster than that predicted by the IMF. The IMF said that it would take us up to 2025 to recover from the damage of COVID, and we recovered by 2023. All due to the good and hard work of the Philip J. Pierre administration. Yes, people may say I am biased, but the data speaks for itself. It is not, c'est pas pet la Kadisa. C'est bon la Commonwealth Kadisa. Okay?
Yes.
That's all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being biased, you know, once you are honestly biased. You're honest enough to admit it. You don't come and pretend that you're impartial and it's a fast one you're trying to pull on people and so on. Terry Fenelon and I, we biased, you know. We make no secret about it. We open about it. We honest about it. We declare our hand. We show our cards on the table openly, you know. We show what we're holding and what we're not holding and so on. Anyway, Terry, I'll give you the last minute to wrap up.
Yeah, well, Shelton, I came with more, but I figured we just need to zero in that. By now, all of you should be aware that Philip J. Pierre is measured. I like that. Titus. Thank you for that characterization. We're going to use that because you testified properly. You know, that's what Peter Tosh says. I'm going to testify. Titus, you have testified that Philip J. Pierre is a man, he's prudent, he's wise, he's fiscally aware, he knows what he's doing and he's measured. Yes. And you're going to take that. Now I'm going to challenge you all. Please go back in time on a piece of paper and write for me the accomplishments of Alan Shastley and his bandits in suits while they were in power for 6 years. I challenge you to come up with 3 things. 3 is too many? 2.
Well, don't forget the 159 already.
Yeah, 2. So that you could tell me what it is that he has done.
Yes. Terry, don't consider that this slate of candidates that UWP has presented, that it's final, you know.
Yeah.
I suspect by the time we move closer down the line, a couple of people might drop out, you know, because they will see that this thing is completely untenable and unsustainable.
Yes.
But that's the real issues for today, the very first day of the week. I'm optimistic that we'll have more great ones for the remainder of the week. Thank you very much, technical operator Jaquan. Yes. Thank you very much, Terry, for being here, as always. And I'm Shelton Daniel. Till next time, 12:30 to 2 p.m. on Real FM Radio, NBC Television, Facebook and YouTube Live. Real Issues powered by Blue Waters signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. the man, the voice. Your hero is
8, 15, 19. Big 4, 3, 2, 9, 5. Big 4 multi-X, 3X. Pick 2, 0, 9. Pick 2 multi-X, FP. 1 off, 7, 4, 2. Lucky 3, 0, 1, 7. Lucky 3 multi-X, 3X.
the man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts.